Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Santana again. I'm here with another awesome kindergarten standard. It's a science standard, and just remember, standards are those things that we want you to learn. Now, this one's got a lot of words in it, so let's get started reading. It says to obtain, evaluate, and communicate information to describe objects in terms of the materials they are made of and their physical attributes. Then it goes on to say, use senses and science tools to classify common objects such as buttons or swatches of cloth according to their physical attributes such as color, size, shape, weight, and texture. Of course, there's a lot of big words in that standard, so we're going to think about what those words mean, and then we're going to talk about what it looks like when you master this standard. The first word that I notice here is obtain. Obtain means to get something, and then it says to evaluate. So after you get something or obtain it, you're going to evaluate it, which means to think about it. Think about if your information is good information. And then it says, and communicate. And that means to talk about the information or maybe write about the information. To describe, to tell about, objects in terms of, and that means on the basis of. I'm talking about, when I say in terms of the materials, it just means considering what those materials are made of and their physical attributes. And attributes, that's just a big word that means things like color and size and shape, what an object looks like. Now down here where it says use senses, most of us know that means we're talking about our five senses, like our vision, our smelling, our tasting, our hearing, and our touch. Or science tools. Well, in kindergarten, one of the tools that we use is a magnifying glass that makes things look a little bit bigger. So a science tool is just something that helps us do our job. Now, let's see, and then it goes on and lists those things that we could do, and then it talks about the physical attributes again. And just remember that those attributes are just talking about how we can describe something based on what they look like and what they're made out of. Okay, so now that we've talked about what the standard means, I can show you kind of what it looks like. It would be like if I had some objects and I want to classify or sort these objects based on their attributes. And the first object I have is a really smooth, flat circle. And I'm just going to kind of put this up here on top of my box, right there where you can kind of see it. And then I found another round object, and I could put them together, but I'm going to use my magnifying glass to look, and when I do, I see that this round object, this button, it has two holes in it, and it's got some ridges around the side, so I kind of don't want to put them together. I want to sort them out or classify them out, and this is going to be in the smooth item area, and this is going to be in the rough item area. And then I found a shell, and I'm going to look at that. I'm going to use my magnifying glass and see, do I think this is smooth or do I think it's rough? And you know, it's got some smoothness, but I'm going to have to say it's got some roughness too, because it's got some points and some little nicks in it and some little crevices in there. So I'm going to have to put that with a button because it's not smooth like the circle. So boys and girls, when you have mastered this standard, you can say, I can get and think about and talk about information that describes objects based on the materials that they are made of and their physical characteristics or attributes. And I can use my five senses and my science tools to classify those objects or to sort those objects. And I can use objects like buttons or swatches of cloth, just and do this according to their physical characteristics or their physical attributes. Bye for now.